Just hours after that online argument blew up, Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber ended up under the same roof. And honestly, the tension was almost visible. Even through the screen, you could feel it. The Academy Museum Gala wasn't just another fancy Hollywood night. It felt like everyone had shown up knowing something was about to happen. Hailey arrived in a corset so tight she could barely sit, while Kim Kardashian hid her face behind a full mask like she had something to hide. Then came Selena. Calm, glowing, and completely at peace. She didn't have to say a single word, but her presence said plenty. And while Justin stayed home, his silence was louder than any statement he could have made. That night, confidence didn't need sound. It was all in the way Selena carried herself. The moment those red carpet photos dropped, it was clear this wasn't just another celebrity event. It was a quiet face-off between women who had been turned into headlines for months. Everyone acted like it was business as usual, but their eyes gave it away. Hailey entered with Kendall Jenner by her side, trying her best to smile through the pressure, while her corset looked like it was squeezing the life out of her. People online even joked that she probably couldn't breathe. The atmosphere inside was heavy, like everyone was waiting for something to... Then Selena appeared. Smooth entrance, elegant dress, effortless grace. Her calmness stood out more than any designer outfit ever could. Kim's full mask made her look like a walking mystery, turning the night into meme material within minutes. But no matter what happened, attention always circled back to Selena. You could see it in the flashes, in the way people turned their heads. Fans online replayed every second. Hailey sneaking glances, cameras clicking nonstop, social media splitting into two camps again. Team Selena and Team Hailey. But beyond all that noise, one thing was clear. Selena's silence wasn't cold. It was strength. She didn't react, didn't speak, didn't engage. She simply showed up. And that alone made the internet lose its mind. One fan wrote, "Selena didn't attend the gala. She owned it." And honestly, that summed it up perfectly. She wasn't there to prove anything. She looked free, grounded, and completely done with all the unnecessary drama. Another fan said, "Hailey's dress looked more like tension than fashion." That comment stuck with me because it really did seem like the outfit was wearing her, not the other way around. When Selena stepped onto that carpet, everything shifted. Cameras pointed her way, the crowd turned, and for a few moments, she became the entire event. She didn't seek attention. It naturally followed her. Her gown shimmered under the lights, her smile calm and controlled, her posture saying everything without words. She looked happy, confident, and completely distant from the chaos people tried to attach her to. It hit me right then. This wasn't the same Selena who once hid from drama or avoided confrontation. This was a woman who understood her peace was her power. Every move felt intentional, every smile measured. She looked like she already knew she'd won by not playing the game at all. The air seemed to freeze for a second after her entrance. No gossip, no whispers, just a quiet kind of respect. That silence felt louder than any feud or rumor online. This was her moment, not one of revenge or bitterness, but of calm control. No need for statements, no hidden messages, no shade, just presence. And it was magnetic. Fans online kept sharing the same thought. Selena didn't walk the red carpet. She glided. That's exactly how it looked. Her confidence wasn't loud or showy. It was soft, effortless. The kind that made people stop and stare without realizing why. Another fan joked, "She looked like she was in a different movie than everyone else." And honestly, they weren't wrong. While everyone else was performing, Selena was just being herself. And that was enough to steal the night. Then came Hailey again, walking in after her, and you could almost feel the change. It wasn't about beauty or style. It was about energy. Her outfit was bold, maybe too bold. That corset was pulled so tight it looked painful, and the exaggerated hip pads didn't help either. It felt forced, like she was trying to prove something instead of just enjoying the night. Standing next to Kendall, she smiled for the cameras, but it looked like hard work. Her body language told a different story. Nervous glances, stiff posture, eyes darting everywhere but directly ahead. Looking at the photos, it didn't read as confidence. It felt like she was trying to survive the night, to keep herself composed while every camera searched for cracks. She was trying too hard to seem fine, but the unease was visible. The more she tried to shine, the more the strain showed. And then there was the quiet reminder that Justin wasn't there. His absence filled the space around her like a shadow she couldn't shake off. Even without him being present, his missing energy spoke volumes. One fan commented, "You can tell Hailey's holding herself together, but her smile doesn't reach her eyes." That hit hard because it was true. Another said, "She looked gorgeous, but empty, like she dressed up for someone who didn't show up." And honestly, that summed up the feeling perfectly. She looked amazing, but there was something missing. Something emotional that clothes couldn't hide. Her dress was loud, but the loneliness behind it was louder. And just when everyone thought the night couldn't get any stranger, Kim Kardashian made her entrance and instantly stole attention. But not in a good way. Her outfit turned the event into a social media circus within minutes. But even with all that chaos, one thing stood out. Selena had already defined the night before anyone else even walked in. Her quiet confidence left an impression that no outfit, no headline, and no feud could overshadow. It wasn't about winning or proving anything anymore. It was about peace, the kind that doesn't need to shout to be heard. Imagine a skin-toned dress sculpted so tightly it looked like it had extra curves molded into it, and on top of that, a full face mask that belonged in a science fiction film. It felt like a nun collided with the Met Gala, and somehow the result was so over the top it made people stop and stare. Cameras snapped faster than you could blink, and for a moment everyone forgot Selena and Hailey were even at the same event. I couldn't help but laugh when I first saw it. The outfit was daring, strange, and absolutely classic Hollywood attention-grabbing. That kind of look begs to be the center of conversation even if no one asked for it. And I have a feeling Kim knew exactly what she was doing. She shifted the focus, changed the chatter, and reminded the room that chaos is something she can always command. While Hailey fought to keep her cool, and Selena floated in quiet, Kim turned the gala into her own performance. Every flash hit her like it had been planned. Only she could show up to a major event looking like a futuristic alien and somehow make the whole thing about her. It was the perfect diversion. Suddenly, people were talking about the mask and the molded dress instead of the feud or Justin's absence. That's Hollywood in a nutshell. When you want attention, make them talk about you. Even though Justin wasn't there in person, you could feel his name in the room. His absence hovered in conversations, in the way people glanced toward entrances, and in those quiet whispers that followed new arrivals. For years, he has been the center of this complicated triangle, the person everyone waited to see. Now he's a ghost in headlines, a presence felt through what's missing rather than what's shown. He posts pictures of himself smiling, singing, and enjoying time in Mexico like everything is fine, but those public moments sometimes read like a performance meant to convince others, or maybe even himself. Skipping the gala wasn't random. If he had come, the night would not have been about dresses or films or fashion. It would have been a contest to see whom he looked at first. Every camera would have pounced on his expression, and every fan comment would have broken down his body language. Maybe staying away was the safest option to avoid even more speculation. Yet that choice told its own story. Selena seemed happier than she has in a long time, and Hailey looked tense, holding herself together in a way that made people notice the gap Justin left behind. That quiet absence amplified emotions more than any public statement ever could. When the event finally calmed down, there was a strange stillness, like a storm that had passed and left clean air behind. All the noise burned out, and what remained was Selena. She didn't need to speak or post or explain herself. She arrived with calm and left with something that looked like power. No loud outfits, no public jabs, no side comments, only grace. That kind of quiet confidence shows itself when someone has been through rough times and no longer feels the need to defend or prove anything. I kept looking back at her photos, not because of the clothes, but because of what she chose not to do. She didn't fall into the trap of reacting. She refused to feed the headlines and simply existed. Her presence had more weight than any shouty red carpet moment. That's rare in a place where silence is often read as weakness. She turned it into strength. The contrast was clear. While others chased the spotlight, she became it by being steady and composed. She looked content, newly married, and in her own lane. To me, this didn't feel like a return or a staged comeback. It felt like a closing of a chapter. People watching her felt relief more than anything else. Relief that she seemed freed from the comparisons and the drama that repeatedly showed up in stories about her. She didn't win by fighting. She won by choosing peace, and that choice resonated more loudly than any headline. Events like this remind you how much can be said without words. Selena's calm, Hailey's tight smile, Kim's dramatic entrance, and Justin's absence together created a night that felt like a silent movie. If you noticed the small moments, the glances, the pauses, the way people shifted, you could read the whole story without a single line of dialogue. Now tell me what you think. Who did the night belong to in your view? I'm going through every comment and I want to hear your takes, so don't hold back. Let's unpack it and talk through what each of those moments really meant.